Listen to me. I'm doing this video with full knowledge. I'm doing these videos with full knowledge that of how the end of this thing is going to look, because the Lord has already shown me. This is exactly the thing that I was doing before we were literally shipped out of here. And I told you, I don't know the reason that we all had to leave out here in like cars. We had to flee the place that we're at. And the closer I get to doing what God told me to do, I realized it was a very, very tumultuous situation, warlike. Okay, we've talked about this here before. You'll have to watch some of those other videos, but it was like a warlike situation. And the only thing that secured my spot where I was going was doing this, warning you that hell awaits to all who do not pick up their cross and follow Jesus. So I'm going to do just that. We're going to do that while I'm doing my hair. We're going to do that while I'm reading books. We're going to do that while we're cooking, okay? Because I'm still living real life over here. But I don't want you to think for a second that this is some, ploy to get followers. I don't care, because at the end of the day, baby, as much I pay for that laptop in there, it will all come to nothing. At the end, around and it fell off, leave it over there. It wasn't doing you no good when you got on the merry-go-round. Okay? It wasn't. Stop trying to find it. Take a new road. Do something new. Change your mind. Shift your mind. Shift your perspective. Believe again. Know that it's possible again. It's not just for everyone else. It's for you to believe again. Arise and go again. Pick up your bed. What's your bed? Your story. What happened to you back there? Pick it up and get up and go again. Go again. Don't let anxiety keep you down. Don't let fear keep you down. That wasn't the end of your story. It was the end of your story, you'd be dead. Pick it up. Pick it up and go again. Go again. Go again. There's something there. Go again. Go again. With new strength, with new sight, because now you know the territory, with new sight. And now you also know that you've got to stay vigilant, because life can happen at any time. Life can happen at any time. You've got to stay up on the post. You got to stay looking out. You've got to stay armed. You got to stay armed, because this world, the violence, the vileness, how people are talking to each other, you don't want to be a part of that. And if you are a part of it, like I said, I urge you to turn in a different direction. Even though I know sometimes it's easier to stay the same. Sometimes it's easier to continue to pick apart. The idea that someone would actually sit down and pick apart the life of another person, and we're all living in this world, and things will happen to every last one of us, to me is the most asinine thing. It's almost arrogant. It's almost an arrogance as to say that life can't happen to you in the way that you are talking about life happening to another person. And I pray for you. And I hope the person watching this who has people around you like that, I hope you're praying for them too. Because that's a terrible place to be tormented so much that you can't even focus on you. You don't even know that you're important anymore, because you've taken all the importance that is you and you've placed all of that energy on tearing down another person. It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard, I've ever seen. Yeah, we're seeing it. Yeah, we're seeing it. People have made their choices. They're laying in the beds that they've made instead of picking up those beds, letting those beds be a story. Because somebody gonna ask, baby, why you got that bed above your head? Where you carrying it? No, where you been? Where you been? They won't know where you been. That's my channel. My channel is me showing you where I have been. And the people who miss it, the people who say, so wait, you went from owner to daycare, you went to truck driving school, massage therapist, army. What? She confused. The people who look at it and say that are the people that don't realize that you got a bed that you should be carrying too. And they're people who will be vulnerable with you and honest about some of the places that life has taken them. in the hopes to lift you up out of some of the pits that life will put you in. And instead of taking that advice, there are people who will try to destroy. But if you're the person who your goal, you feel like your purpose is to help people through that journey, I'm going to be honest with you and saying it's hard because people are always going to try to find something, but you keep pushing. You keep pushing. You keep on digging. You keep on moving. You keep on soaring. Because baby, there is some point, there ain't too many people, okay, soaring. There's not too many people soaring. So down there, the lower you are, the more noise you hear, the higher you get, the quieter it is. The more solace you have, the higher you get. So just keep that in mind. When you hear a lot of noise, when you're at a level, when you hear a lot of noise, that means you need to go higher. Because to be honest with you, the people who down there who want to remain down there, they don't hear that noise, baby. That noise is like peace to them. You're not at peace amidst that noise, that means you need to start soaring. There's more in you. There's more. Okay. Let's talk about this. So, here we are. This is not at all sponsored, okay? I have a little story about this. So about 2 months ago or so, I said, you know what? Let me pull out my stepper. I haven't done stepping in a very long time, girl, like over a year. And I couldn't find my stepper. I didn't remember where I put it. And then I asked my husband where I put my stepper, and he told me, we're using it for the bed. And I said, okay. So I just decided to pull it out whenever I wanted to do the workout. And I'm gonna show you where it is. I decided to pull it out whenever I wanted to do the workout. And one day I went to Walmart to get some extra bands because I told you guys my bands pop, like my workout bands pop, and I had to purchase a new one. I went over there and I saw this lovely little stepper. It was such a pretty color in comparison to the one that I already had. But like I said, I don't spend money frivolously anymore. So I said, you know what? I don't actually need a new stepper, so I'm not going to get one, okay? I'm not going to get a new stepper. This morning, I woke up and my husband comes walking in with this. And I had literally just spoke to the Lord. And my ladies from bootcamp know we had just talked about the people doing the step aerobics. Okay, doing the step aerobics. We had just talked about how I don't want to have anything to do with you half naked, teaching me nothing. But what they didn't know was, and what you didn't know was, the reason why I hadn't done step as much as I wanted to do step is because I was using my old stepper for the bed. So let me tell you, this was the Lord's seal of Tanzania. Go ahead on and do them steps. So don't be surprised if you see us stepping. Okay, so here it is. I could not, I could believe. I know, because I know the Lord is that intentional, that he literally walked in here this morning with the exact one that I wanted. I thought it was such a beautiful color, but like I said, I'm like, I'm not going to buy that because I already have one. And I already have one that's, I know it's not a pretty color or whatever, but it doesn't make any sense to buy another one. I already have one. Girl.
All right, so we're going to start the next day off good by ending the current day off good. I'm going to have this for my dinner. I did have a great lunch and great breakfast with the family, but it's the end of the day and I'm really not that hungry. So I'm going to have some tea. I chose the sinus tea as well as the immune one. I was trying to find one so you could see, but I already put it in the cup, the last one that I had. I found out that these actually do work, and I found out they work because the sinus sleep one actually, I fell asleep very quickly. Okay, so they do work. So this is what I'll be having for my dinner. Now, like I said, I ate a big breakfast yesterday. I usually choose one time a week to eat a really big breakfast with the family. And I was going to make these muffins again today, but I decided against it. I was going to make some of those little egg cups. You can buy them from the grocery store. I think they're by Jimmy Dean. You know, other brands might have some as well, but I know Jimmy Dean makes some. The little egg bites, I think they come like 4, and girl, they're not giving them away, okay? So I already have some eggs, and I'm just going to make some egg bites just in case I want to grab and go kind of breakfast throughout the week. I also decided to use this lunch meat because it's been in the refrigerator for a long time, and it says I have to eat it or use it by the 24th of November. So I said, let me go ahead and just cut it all up and put it inside of the eggs. My daughter loves her customary eggs. She probably won't like the fact that I added extra stuff to these eggs, but look, this is what we're gonna have, and I have just enough left over from filling up the muffin tins to make her some breakfast. I'm using the cotton ball holder. Good morning. It's not very early in the morning, but it's like before 6 o'clock. I'm getting the kids' breakfast ready, and we're just gonna start the day like this. I have on my cleaning clothes. Hold on, so we can see. Cleaning clothes is just this jacket, and this jacket was, a good jacket until I got a little bleach stain or something on it. So now it's the cleaning jacket, and I don't have like an entire mess to clean up because, I want you to think about this. When people be showing you stuff, I want you to think about this. Are you really living in a house that is completely filthy all week long? And then you're going to try and influence us to clean with you when you haven't been cleaning with you. So no, I don't have a filthy mess to clean up. I do have like I'm looking at this countertop and I see hair, and I clipped my nails yesterday and I see like nail pieces. I have like stuff like that. Toilets to clean, the organization. I told you guys from the other video I wanted to get in here, organize some things. Maybe I have some things to throw away. My clothes are not in like work clothes or normal work clothes, jackets with jackets, shirts with shirts. There's all over the place. I have that kind of stuff to clean. But a filthy mess, fortunately for me, I guess unfortunately for some of us, I don't have like a huge mess to clean. So we're gonna do that today, maybe because I also want to twist up my hair. Like, I don't know how I feel about walking, around with the little mini twist, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Like I said, this hair journey, I'm not putting any dyes in my hair. How dark my natural hair is right now, that's how dark my natural hair is. It's almost like black. I'm not putting any dyes in or anything in it. I told myself I wasn't gonna put any weave in it either. So I'm just gonna rock with how it is, so that when it grows, I'm actually grateful for it. You know what I mean? I talked about this the other day. But while I was like, making the kids breakfast, making Kennedy's breakfast, because my son's gonna have cereal. Because we did cook like a big breakfast yesterday, which Usually we'll have one big breakfast one day of the week, okay? So that's how it goes. But anyway, I was thinking to myself, we had the conversation yesterday about people in long relationships, and then you say silly things like, the Lord's still working on me, the Lord's still working on him. And what I was reminded of is nobody, come on, we're gonna have this conversation. Let's say 10 years. Let's say you stay in an engagement for 10 years. Now, if you're in an engagement for 10 years and no parties are sleeping with nobody, like we're legitimately working on ourselves for 10 years, that's something different. I want to tell you that as a grown person, that's definitely a call. That's not something that you're doing on your own, recognizance, because as a grown adult who has all working parts, it's very hard to not do something that your body is made to do. But to those of you, you've been in a relationship 3, 5, 7, 10 years, and you say things like he's still working on him, but then you're laying down with him. How much, those things that you say that he's still working on, why would you then go and interdict yourself by laying down with the person? You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Do you know every single thing that he's still working on him with now is your problem because you have married yourself to this man spiritually? So just don't say foolish things. I'm telling you, it would be, and again, like I said in the other video, this is not marriage advice. It's not a marriage advice video. I just want you to get some sort of wisdom about some of the foolish things that you do say, okay? Because if you're not going to stop sleeping with him, you will have more problems than not. You're not going to marry him and then you're not going to stop sleeping with him either. How is that a wise woman thing to do? When we know, you already know. You can try to fool yourself into thinking that you don't know. You can look at the long list of problems that you have just for sleeping with this man who's not your husband. You can see that. And then you continue on that and say, we can't quite beat it. That is so stupid. It is stupid. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you'll be the one to pay for it. Maybe he'll pay for it too, but I'm not here to talk to him. I'm here to talk to you. Because it's you who's watching. You pay for it at the end of the day. Remember what I told you? My goal in doing these videos is not simply to show you all of my business and stuff like that. This is the way that the Lord has told me to share, to warn you women that hell awaits for everyone who do not pick up their cross and follow him. Okay, so let's have fun here in this video, but let's not forget what we're doing here. Okay, so with that being said, let's go eat breakfast. I just place her breakfast on the table so that when she gets up, she sees it and go on to start the rest of my morning. As you can see, it's still really early in the morning because it's not even light outside yet. So I'm going to light my candles. This one is nearing its end, and yeah, but it smells really good. I got it from Ross. It's like a holiday scented candle. I woke up yesterday to see that my husband had replenished my stash. As you can see, we only do discount candles. Okay, I'm not paying no $30 nothing for no candle. Okay, and he knows don't pay $30 nothing for no candle either. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own breakfast, which you're going to see here in a second. That is really not breakfast food, but this is probably the only meal that I'm going to have today. So I just made sure to make it a delicious one. I use black tea, and I'm just steeping the tea in a separate cup while I mix together I can use heavy cream. Sometimes I use heavy cream or just a regular like coffee creamer, and then mix it together in a cup, put a little pumpkin spice on top, stir it up. It tastes like a boba tea without the boba. I made these cucumbers the other day. I showed it to you in the last video. I think it was the last video or the one before that. It's just some cucumbers. So I have some cucumbers, like Asian style, some wings, and then I'm going to also add some vegetable chicken dumplings instead of cooking the rice. All right, it's still early in the morning and the lighting's better in here. That's why we're in here. So I told you guys that I'll tell you a little bit more about this book. The book is called I Must Betray You. And I'm going to do a Kindle kind of like review, but it's not like, some aesthetic review. It's really just for those of you who like to read, but you run into the problem that I'm going to talk to you about here in a second. I really would like to have it on the Kindle, but the Kindle says it does not support these titles, and it doesn't support. When I saw that, when I tried to order it online and it said that this title is not supported on the Kindle, this one as well as the other book that I showed you in the other video, I knew that I had to get this book to see what was unsupported. You know what I mean? That's how you discover when somebody's telling the truth, when people say, oh, we don't support it. You know what I mean? So I said, let me go ahead and get this book. Honey, it's one of those books that you just can't put down. Now, the reason why I'm talking to you about it right now is because I remember one of the reviews saying the book was depressing to me. Yeah, the book was depressing to me. I don't want to read a depressing book. Give me my Kylene Hoover, type of thing. But the Lord told me that this is where we're going here in America. And I knew nothing about Romania. I know nothing about, until the Lord started bringing it up to me, I knew nothing about communism. And, I just didn't know anything about that. While I was sitting down, I was actually reminded that I was in Germany during, the whole, I don't know how YouTube feels about this, the whole towers, and you know what I mean. I lived in Germany. I was there when one day we were living a completely normal life, and then the next day we had, military soldiers on our buses. I was there. I remember it. I was very young, but I remember being terrified. Okay. I remember even going to school and we had soldiers lining our walls. I remember, people would come back to school and kids would be crying. They would be calling kids to the office and they'd be like, well, what's wrong? And it was like, oh, you lost your dad. Your dad, he died in the line of fire. So I remember this time. However, I knew nothing about this, but the Lord says, this is where we're going. And when you read this kind of stuff, I will tell you, like in the first part, you can see I didn't get to read much yesterday because I was watching The Help. You heard me. I was watching The Help. I was watching The Help with my husband, and I've always refrained from watching stuff like that. I did see The Help when it came out in movie theaters, but I did not have the revelation. That was so long ago. I did not have the revelation about how Black people were actually treated here in this America. And like I said, we've talked about this before. The Lord has already told me that I would be, a part of the people who waking up the sleeping people. But we were watching that movie. We were watching it yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to read as much. And then into the night, I can't read this book at nighttime, okay? I can turn on the lights and stuff like that, but then my husband's sleeping. So what I'm going to do today is, I think I can do this, take a picture of it on my little scanner app, and then turn the picture of the pages into the PDF, and then I can send the PDF to my Kindle. I can do that. So I'm going to try to do that today. But like I was saying, some parts in this book, it's like you'll see let me see if I can find one. You will see the informant report for people, amongst friends, amongst family. I'm at a part right now where I believe it was the little boy's sister that informed on him and then turned him into an informant. Okay, so it's a very strict society. If you watch some of the other videos when I was giving you the messages that the Lord gave to me, we're going to be going into a time of very, very strict time. And if you don't understand what that looks like in real life, this right here is a historical fiction book, but it's historical fiction for people like me who realize that it's not very fictional at all. It's just some people just don't believe that this could happen to a place like the place where I live. Okay, the place where you live. Maybe you're watching from another part of the world, but I live here in America. So this is a very eye-opening, interesting book. And if you're ready to read it, go ahead and read it. If you're not ready to read it, that means you have a lot of work to do as far as, your life is concerned. Because like I told you, I'm sitting here, I'm doing this video, but don't think, listen to me. I'm doing this video with full knowledge. I'm doing these videos with full knowledge of how the end of this thing is going to look, because the Lord has already shown me. This is exactly the thing that I was doing before we were literally shipped out of here. And I told you, I don't know the reason that we all had to leave out of here in like cars. You know, we had to flee the place that we're at. And the closer I get to doing what God told me to do, I realized it was a very tumultuous situation, warlike. Okay, we've talked about this here before. You'll have to watch some of those other videos, but it was like a warlike situation. And the only thing that secured my spot where I was going was doing this, warning you that hell awaits to all who do not pick up their cross and follow Jesus. So I'm going to do just that. We're going to do that while I'm doing my hair. We're going to do that while I'm reading books. We're going to do that while we're cooking. Okay, because I'm still living real life over here. But I don't want you to think for a second that this is some, ploy to get followers. I don't care, because at the end of the day, baby, as much I pay for that laptop in there, it will all come to nothing at the end of this story, the Lord says. So let's go. So these are the products that I'm going to try to use to do this twist out. Let's see. Blue Magic. I'm going to use this Mayel, I guess it's kind of like gel, which I might not need to use. And then I have some water here. So, and I also have this, which is the mirror that goes on the back of the door. And you can like see your head. So then there it is. It's just on the back of the door. And then I can stand right here and like get my hair started. Okay, so I'm done. It didn't take long. I didn't put any of this in it. I just used the Blue Magic. And the goal is to really keep my hair kind of like this or something similar to it. I don't know if you remember the other braids that I had, the really long ones. Like I said, I cut the permed hair off my head. I kept those braids in from June till like recently, a few weeks ago. So really from May to like a few weeks ago. So I kept them in for a very long time. My hair grew a lot, but like I said, it had relaxed in, so I wanted to cut that off. We're not cutting our hair anymore though. We're just not doing that. We're just going to kind of flow with how the hair looks and get used to the hair, how it looks. I already talked about this earlier. I think I have a clip though. Let me share with you the clip of me cutting off my hair. I have taken out that quick weave. It was itching. Oh. Work a miracle. I got the clippers here. Got some scissors here. I'm no licensed cosmetologist, don't really know what I'm doing, but I have cut my hair a time or two. So I'm just about to do a little something, and I'm gonna come back and show y'all. So I can show y'all. On this side, it's not as bad. I don't know if my braids that I took out or maybe a little too tight. I did do braids back, so I can show you back to back, but this is postpartum hair shedding. There's nothing you can really do about it. And I really don't do anything with my hair, to be honest. Back to back. Oh my god! It's my hair! Oh my god! Oh my god! No! I can't believe I just cut. Oh my god! So my husband said I should just commit and just cut it off. I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry. So my husband, I remember I had a very, like I told you, life was rocky. I had a very big afro, and I mean big, I mean like, it was probably like this, and it was green. I dyed it green, and I had convinced myself that since, because the front part of my hair, like I had just had Kennedy, since the front part of my hair right here was looking a lot thinner, that I should cut it all off. And what I didn't realize is my hair has always been like, it's very fine right here along the sides. But that just goes to show you, like I said, something happened to me. When you be out of your mind, you just think things that are not. All that aside, I have this Sulfur 8. I also bought the shampoo, and I bought, hold on, let me show you. I bought the whole line. And I bought the whole line for my daughter. It's not the whole line. This is not everything, but these are the things that I use. This was $6.99 for like if you wear braids. And even if you don't wear braids and your hair just feels a little itchy, I like to, if you spray it on there and just kind of rub it in, I like this. And then I bought this shampoo for my daughter's hair, and I've been using that. I use it sometimes, only when I need it. And then this Sulfur 8 grease, I usually only use it at the front part right here because it gets a little itchy, which I told you I found a solution to that. And the solution was that Carol's daughter shampoo. I did a washing in the other video, so you can go and check it out. It's to get my hair really clean, especially at the front here, because I don't know, my hair just likes it. But like I said, I bought these for my daughter, and I found out that, you know that product that everybody uses, what they call it, Shine and Jam, that it would make her hair very, very itchy. So she's actually the one who got me to like love my natural hair more, because I noticed whenever I try to get her hair all slick and sleek and stuff like that, it was very irritating. And you have to think to yourself, do I want my hair to be slick and sleek and looking like somebody else's hair? Or do I want to enjoy my hair the way it is, and me, you know, not to be itching, and it started to not make sense to me. So now she has like micro locks. Like I told you, I did them for her. Maybe I'll show you at another point her locks, but this video isn't necessarily about her. It's not really about me either, but you know what I mean. But I found that after I stopped doing all that crazy stuff to her hair, she no longer needed to use this. So I've had this for quite some time, like over a year. And yeah, so I don't use all those products on her hair because it irritates her scalp, and then now she has locks. She don't need all those products. For me, I've been showing you the stuff I've been using. And what I'm gonna do, I tried to twist this part right here to the front. I have a date with a very important person this week. And no, it's not my husband. You know, my husband is very important, but it's not our date. It's a different date. I don't know if I'm going to share with you who I'm going on the date with. Very near and dear to my heart she is, and it's very exciting to be able to go on a date with her at our favorite kind of joint. Okay, at our favorite kind of joint. But I'm also not, come on, you know, when you like, you know something's coming up, a lot of times, especially the holidays, you be like, I gotta lose all this weight because I need to put on this dress and then show up to Thanksgiving, or I need to get my hair done before I go and meet with her. I'm not that girl. Okay, I'm gonna show up how I'm gonna show up, and either you gonna have a problem with that or you gonna have a problem with that, because I'm not gonna have a problem with it. I'm not about to go out of my way to do anything, to be anybody that I'm not, to suit anybody's anything. So if my hair be like this, then it's like this. If I change my mind, then I change my mind. But I'm thinking maybe if anything, I'll kind of take apart those twists there in the front. But for now, just to get them to stay forward while I clean up and stuff, I'm just gonna tie this scarf, and this is what we're gonna wear, girl. So I was wondering where that pancake smell was coming from, where that maple syrup smell was coming from. I switched the candles. Instead of putting this one in the hallway, I put the other one in the hallway and put this one here, and it literally smells like maple syrup. I was like, what is that? Why does it smell like pancakes? I did not make pancakes, but it's this candle. Alright, so like I said, I don't have much to like deep clean because I do clean frequently, but I do love to periodically check things, make sure I don't have like trash, you know what I mean, like trash, like stuff I really don't need, don't want anymore, not using, or just simply like trash. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go through and throw away everything that needs to be thrown away. Here is my little hair drawer. It's like stuff that I need to easily access, and I'm taking out my little hair bonnets. One hair bonnet I like to keep beside my bed, girl, just in case, and then the other of this stuff, I'm just going to organize it in here real nicely. Or I should say nicely, I should say functionally, because it's more about functionality. You're not going to see me do like real nice and neat, but it's definitely functional and what I call clean. So here are my little bins. It just has a bunch of extra stuff in there. It's not like only hair stuff, or you guys saw I put my kids' snacks in one of the drawers down here. So I'm just going through, like I said, throwing stuff away. These are all my hair scarves and things like that. You're gonna see one of these drawers, I actually have like all clip-ins. Girl, I stared at them clip-ins for a long time, okay? Before I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and throw away all the weave that I have left. Because you heard me say at the beginning of the video, I am not gonna put any weave or hair color in my hair. And I'm convinced about the hair color. I'm convinced about the perm because this is like my third or fourth time chopping off all my hair. But I wasn't totally convinced about the weave. But I found one thing to be sure, and that is getting rid of stuff helps you to make up your mind, because as long as it's there, it's still a possibility. Like that means it's still a lingering thought of I could possibly do it. Like, you know, if times get bad enough, I could. If my hair start getting on my nerves enough, I'm gonna just go ahead and braid up. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna go ahead and throw all of it away. This is also another one of those things. This is makeup. Now, I bought this makeup. I've had this makeup basket literally since I was like 18 or 19 years old. I don't wear makeup. However, I always keep it in my closet for that one odd day that I might wear it. And the same premise goes. I don't need to just have it just in case. When I say I'm not going to do it because I don't do it, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it away. That's like somebody saying, I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes, and you got all the cartons in your closet saying, you know, I'm going to stop smoking. But if I do start smoking, that's what you're telling yourself. If I do start smoking, I don't want to have to go out and spend all this money on cigarettes again. So I'm just going to throw it all away. Now, I usually vacuum the floor. I very seldomly sweep the floor just because I feel like the vacuum cleaner gets up a lot more stuff. I'm going to show you why in just a little while, why I don't really like this vacuum cleaner. I was going to return it back to Walmart where I got it from, but it was such a hassle to get this vacuum cleaner. First, I tried to order it from Amazon, and you had to have a little passcode. I wasn't here when they delivered it. It was like a whole big thing. So I ended up canceling the order. Girl, it was like a whole thing with the delivery drivers. I had to report the lady. She was being rude. And then I went to, I ordered it on Walmart online. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and keep this, because what's going to happen is I'm going to be vacuuming up unnecessary stuff. I'll be watching them vacuum videos. I'm just being honest here. I love those vacuum videos. Well, I don't need to be doing that though. So I'm not going to get another vacuum cleaner, even though I would not suggest getting this one, especially if you have a lot of rugs. Now, carpet, I know that it will work for, because it works for those bathroom rugs, like the low, I think call them low ply rugs. But like a rug, like the little carpets like I have in my room and in the living room and stuff, it's not good for those. Stuff like this is great for them. And no, like I said, I'm not doing this for this video. I have been looking at whatever this stain is on the floor for about 3 weeks or so. So I finally felt the need to get down there and get off, because I do mop the floor. So I know it's not like dirt. It's probably I don't know, it's like a scuff or something like that, which the magic eraser would probably have gotten it off with less of my elbow grease. But I just used some baby wipes and then the cleaning spray that I was already using, which is the Unstoppables, which smells so good, by the way. It's very dusty in here, so I just went around in the bathroom and just kind of got the dust off of everything. Then I stopped by my girl's room and just decided to organize it. I let her play in her room. I let her make a mess in her room. It doesn't bother me. That's what kids do. They play. But like I said, I like to go through and make sure, she doesn't have trash like food paper and stuff like that in there. But she's still young and she still does stuff like that. Okay, so just organize things so it's not an eyesore for me through the week. And honestly, if I clean up today, I just have little touch-up things to do throughout the week, and I love that, so I can get done other stuff other than just designating my day to cleaning. Okay, so these are some library books you can see the theme here, girl. I got some library books that introduce her to different things that the kids don't necessarily do these days, like jumping rope and things like that. There's one book about prayer, there's one book about dumplings, but when I read it, it's food from different cultures. So I stopped by the library, and yeah, these are I'm trying to introduce her into the Bible stories, because Vacation Bible School, girl, the pastors and the Vacation Bible School teachers doing all kind of stuff, and teaching the kids the word in a way that they can eat it is not one of those things. However, there's white Jesus on this book, and we're not even gonna get into that. Okay, I did the best I could. I tried to find the books that had a bit more color to the characters, because that's just what it is. Like this one, but these all came from Burlington and Ross, and they were very inexpensive. Not that Bible. I believe I ordered that Bible from Amazon.
Are you using this?
Yeah.
So here you're going to see what I mean about the rug. As soon as you put it on the carpet, it sucks, and it does it only for my rug and the other rug. One of the rugs, it actually lets me vacuum, like I said, but it's really finicky. So I actually have to pick it up and then shake off the rug, which I don't like, because you just put dust all over the place when you do that. And for that reason, I was going to return it, but I'm gonna just go ahead and just keep it, because it does a really good job on the floors. And you can take it loose and do smaller areas, but I'm telling you, that's why you don't be buying stuff that you see people using, because just because they're using it and showing it to you in a video, that doesn't mean it actually works. And I'm telling you that this vacuum cleaner is not all that. Now, this is something that I do, yes, all day when, especially on the weekend or when everyone's at home. That's in the morning time. I unload the dishwasher so that throughout the day, as they eat, I can load the dishwasher back up and I don't have like a sink full of dishes. We are not leave the dishes in the sink 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a week type of household. That's how you get ants. That's how you get roaches. Okay. I don't know about you, but I don't want any of the above. So that's why we load and unload the dishwasher. Let me come over here. Let me come over here. Hold on. Let's just lift this up like this. Just like this. So, I'm cleaning. You can see I'm cleaning. And I feel like we're about to end this video because I guess it's getting kind of long. But I said a lot in this video. I want to tell you this. You know, if you've been here all along, girl, my goal is not, for the people. I'm not one of those people. However, like I said, with the revelation that the Lord has given me concerning who his people are, who I am, baby, and who you are, it really confuses me how tied up people are. How tied up people are in something. It really doesn't have anything to do with you. And what do I mean by that? On election day, I was minding my good business. You know why? Because I am Black and I live in America. And some of you guys, you're going to stress yourself out so much. You're going to stress yourself out so much. You're going to be focused on the wrong thing so much. And you're trying to be everything but who God made you to be. You're trying to acknowledge everyone except the one who made you, except the one who knows you, except the one who formed you in your mother's womb and knew you, except the one who called you his chosen people. You're going to try to make it your business to get to know everyone except them, and you are going to suffer because of it. But those of you who realize, baby, they never liked us, know how. They never liked us, know how. You got the degree. Girl, you got a master's degree, a doctorate degree, some of you, and you found out that once you got to the place that they said that you were supposed to be well accepted, that they still didn't like you. They still didn't like you. They still treated you like crap. Once you get to the place where you're no longer trying to assimilate, remember that video I did about African American slavery, where you're no longer trying to assimilate and you simply accept what is. You realize that you have a great advantage. You want to know what that advantage is? That advantage is resilience. Knowing that, God, you kept me through all of that. This is but a small thing for you to do. This is nothing for you, actually. It's actually the day as usual over here. And if you're not living like, oh, it's the day as usual, and I don't mean oblivious. I mentioned a few things in this video, so don't get it twisted. I mean, like, you're so butthurt about, girl, all that stuff. None of that stuff don't concern you. That stuff, I told y'all watching The Help yesterday. It looks as though we have gotten further than we actually have. But I'm telling you as one who, lives in a good area, who taught, like I told you, I worked at like a high-end preschool, who has worked in, good areas, who has done, massages in mansions and all these kinds. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to get you in. I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to get you to understand something. To them, we're the same. It doesn't matter how high you go. So when are you going to stop soaring for someone who will never see you rightly and look at the God who loves you and sees you rightly because he made you? When are you going to do that? And I'm telling you, once you do it, I know that it's hard. Girl, it's hard to strip off them weaves. It's hard to, just it's hard to change yourself. It's hard to change your wardrobe. It's hard. That is hard. It's hard to put away all these things. But when I look at, where our ancestors have come from. And I am not, you know, I don't do ancestral worship. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the people who look like you, who came before you, the harsh things that they struggle. And then you over here still shacking up, laying down with a man that's not like you. You're on the bottom level, and they went through all this for you to lay down and just to do such stupid things. We're very disconnected. And what I need you to do is connect. I need you to connect. And you see my hand was right here. Lift up. Get up from the pit. Get up from the mess. Get up out of the sin and connect. And connect, because you're going to need that resilience. When you realize, baby, I have survived through a lot. That's your advantage. Your advantage is, baby, you've been a captive, especially if you're Black and you live in America. You've been done dirty for a long time. And I am telling you, with no, like, there's no shame. You know, I saw, and I wasn't going to share this with you. I'm going to share it with you. I was doing some advertising, like footwork advertising. And like I said, I live in a nicer area. I wouldn't go to the hood to advertise for the service that I provide, because it doesn't make any sense. Because, you know, like I've said before, you know, Black people tend to be some of the harshest people. And the crazy thing is, I'm for you, you should be for me, but tend to be some of the harshest. So anyways, like I said, or complain about prices and stuff like that, but then you'll turn around and you'll spend, you know, $700 on a weave sweeping the floor that you got to replace next month. It doesn't make any sense, but hey, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I went in the place. It was a high-end complex. I went in the place and I saw it was a white guy, a bigger white gentleman. I mean, like big, like a big, probably like 6'6", big hefty dude. And he had on like a red shirt and a blue tie, very patriotic. And he had a little thing on his shirt that said, "I voted." Now, it was the middle of the day and I was very skeptical about going out, especially in this area, because I had went out a day before and I really felt my Blackness wasn't accepted in this area. Okay. And the crazy thing is, they'll go to an establishment and get, you know, I'll be amongst the people who they request because they like the massage. But when you're doing your own business and you're getting like the money directly to you, they don't want nothing to do with you like that. So there's that. I was there the other day and I was like, baby, I ain't coming back over here. I made my way back over there. And like I said, this man, he had a little sticker on his shirt. He was looking at me, and I saw, as I was talking to him, he kind of opened up. I don't want to open up his Bible. He kind of opened up the information, like, let me see what it is that you got here. Not knowing why he's speaking, the Lord is speaking. He kind of opened it up like, well, let me see what you got here. And then he starts talking to me saying, you know, it's going to be very difficult for you to do X, Y, and Z. Not even knowing that what he's telling me is going to be very difficult, I've already done. It's already been secured. And even more than it's already been secured, what I'm doing, I'm only doing it because God told me to move in the direction. So who are you and what are you to speak anything? Who are you? But because you're a white man and I'm a Black woman, you think anything goes when it's coming down the line to tell me. And I saw him as he looked at my little thing, and as he sat there and looked at me like, how is she even over here, kind of thing. He started looking down in my shirt and he wanted to, I heard it. I heard the words, even though they didn't even come out his mouth. He wanted to ask me, have I voted? And in my mind, I answered back and said, that has nothing to do with me. Actually, let me skippity hop my little self right on out of here right now. And it's going to be hard for some of you. I'm even reminded to tell this to you. It's going to be very hard for some of you who have tried to white your life so much. And, you know, when I say white your life so much, I kid you not. Don't get offended. If you get offended, don't even get offended. Just say ouch and just correct it, girl. You don't have to tell nobody. Some of you have even married like white men. You have married into white families. You have married into different families other than your own because you thought that it would give you some sort of leg up, and you realize you're in a worse situation now than you were before. Because now who you are, when you look in the mirror, you can't even accept because they don't accept it. You're in a worse situation than you were before. It is always time. It's always the right time, baby. You can hear my voice to repent and to turn. And I'm not telling you to walk around, you know, with a picked out afro. And so I am, you know, every woman. I don't even know if that matches. I don't even know who sing that song. But you know what I mean? I'm not telling you that, nobody. I'm not telling you to do that. But you know, some people have literally, you say, you know, This is the only way. I saw it so much when I taught at that high-end preschool. This is the only way that I'll find success in life is if I assimilate with these people who are successful, not knowing that the people have problems of their own. That the people are out of their mind in their own way. And then here you are, you've assimilated with people who are already out of their mind in their own way. And then you have abandoned your God. Your God. It's crazy. So I just wanted to say that. Let me open this while we sit here. Let's see what it really looks like. It is so pretty. Oh, there it is. That is a very nice color. And then it still has the little, like you can go higher. That is so cute. That's so cute. So girl, we're gonna pop this little thing out here. As soon as I'm done cleaning up, I'm kind of like done. The only thing I have left to do is pack Kennedy's lunch. You know what? She forgot her lunch kit. So I don't even think I'm packing a lunch. She forgot her lunch kit at school. What else do I have to do? Oh, cook dinner. Figure out we'll make the dinner.